huge thank you to everyone who's gathered here today, and really thank you to everyone in Albuquerque who donated. The donations that you see here today in front of us and filling up the bus behind us reflect the power of coming together as one Albuquerque. Folks working together across the businesses represented here on the Corporate Volunteer Council who are standing behind me, but folks working across all walks of life, all neighborhoods, who stepped up over the last several weeks to ensure that our kids, our teachers, and our schools all have an excellent start to the school year. I want to give a particularly special thanks to the Corporate Volunteer Council, who is the mastermind and the key coordinator of this entire event, and what makes it possible for us to bring together everyone as one Albuquerque to generate the kind of donations you see here today. I also want to thank APS Superintendent Raquel Reedy, who is joining us here this morning, and all of the teachers and staff members and volunteers who are working tirelessly at all of our schools this week to make sure that all of our students have an excellent first day on Monday. Thanks are also due to Albuquerque Ride, who provided the bus behind us and is helping to coordinate the collection and the delivery of all of these wonderful donations. Now, as many of you already know, stepping up for kids has been one of the top priorities of this administration. And I will say that as we close out these last days of summer, we are particularly proud to note that we have worked together throughout the entire summer across city departments and with a number of community partners throughout the city to make sure that we are stepping up for our kids in new ways. Some of that ways that has been visible this summer include expanded summer programs at our community centers, extended hours and increased passes for families at our city pools, free bus passes for youth across the city, holding our first ever youth career fair to make sure young people across the city are finding ways to get involved and have access to jobs here at the city and with a number of community partners throughout Albuquerque as well. We've been strengthening our Youth Connects program to make sure we're providing specific program for teens in the city and brought back extremely successful teen nights throughout our community as well. And finally, in conjunction with APS and a number of community partners, we ran the summer lunch program to make sure that our students and our kids had what they needed to continue to learn, to continue to play, and to continue to engage throughout the summer. So as we get ready to head back to school next week, I want to invite you all to join us this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2:30 at the Alamosa Community Center. This will be another example of the community coming together to make sure kids and families are well prepared and excited about starting the school year. We'll have backpacks full of school supplies for students, free haircuts on offer, and fun and games for the entire family. And finally, a reminder that we remain committed to working with all of these community partners throughout the year to ensure that we're stepping up for our kids before and after school, to ensure that they remain engaged, that they remain safe, and that they remain excited about learning and contributing to our community. So for families who may still be looking for opportunities, there are still places open at our community center before and after school programs. Please head to play.abq.gov to find out if there's a space at a community center near you. So with that, I just want to thank you again to everybody who has made this possible. And it is my distinct pleasure to be able to invite up Katrina Wagner, the current head of the Community Volunteers, or the Corporate Volunteers Council, and a leader at Sandia National Laboratories as well. Thank you, Katrina.
Thank you so much, First Lady. Good morning, everyone. I'm Katrina Wagner, and I work at Sandia National Laboratories in community involvement. I also have the honor of being the president of the Corporate Volunteer Council that you see behind me. I'd like to thank First Lady Keller for that wonderful introduction. Thank you to the City of Albuquerque for all of your help with this school supply drive. A big thank you to ABQ Ride, who has provided this wonderful air-conditioned bus, which is really, really nice. And to Lindsay, who is driving us today, thank you. I'd also like to thank Albuquerque Public Schools for your partnership. And also a big thank you to everyone who serves on the Corporate Volunteer Council for engaging your employees and getting all of the donations. We still have 4 pickups remaining, and this bus is almost full, which is a really great problem to have. The mission of the Corporate Volunteer Council of New Mexico is to promote corporate social responsibility through collaborative endeavors like the school supply drive. And our goal is to help provide the students in the city that we love with what they need to succeed in school this next year. And as a mother of 2, I'm pretty excited that school's about to start. My daughter's over here with me today. The Back to School Drive is the Corporate Volunteer Council's signature event. And this year, 18 businesses from around the community and Santa Fe contributed supplies and financial support to help ensure that local students go back to school on Monday with new backpacks, pencils, paper, and everything they need to succeed. With all of the companies represented here today, I have no doubt this bus is about to be full. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to the organizations that participated. ABQ Ride, which I mentioned, donated this bus. Aon Risk Solutions, Albuquerque Public Schools, Bank of Albuquerque, Bank of the West, Bernalillo County, Blue Cross Blue Shield, the City of Albuquerque, Dion's, Fidelity Investments, The Gap, Macy's, Mark Pardo, the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History, PNM, Sandia Laboratory Federal Credit Union, Sandia National Laboratories, Thornburg, and TLC Plumbing. Thank you to all of you. And next, I'm going to turn it over to Raquel Reedy, Superintendent of Albuquerque Public Schools.
Buenos días a todos. Es un placer estar aquí con ustedes en este día de celebración. Good day, everybody. It's wonderful having you here because this is truly a day of celebration. School's about to start, and I can hardly believe it myself, but it's an exciting, exciting time. I'm talking to the adults right now. Have you ever shown up to a meeting unprepared? Without a pen, or without a pad to write on, or without your phone? That's the stuff that kills me. When that happens, you feel out of place, you feel disorganized, you feel that everybody is looking at you, you feel embarrassed because obviously everybody knows that you don't have your act together. That's for us adults. It happens to us many, many times, as much as I hate to admit that, but the fact is that we're adults and we can deal with that. But now imagine that you're a 2nd grader and it's the first day of school. And you don't have your pencils, you don't have the crayons, you don't have the glue, the Elmer's glue that everybody loves to have, and you're walking in first day of class, you really don't know everybody, other kids are really excited, they have their bags, they have their backpacks, and there you are. And the fact is that it's not because you're just kind of lazy or you just didn't want to do it, it's because your family could not afford to give you these things. However, your family embraces education and took you to that school with great pride and joy and took you so that you could succeed and learn and become the best individual that you can. This issue as far as school supplies is a terrible issue for us in Albuquerque. Do you know that 2 out of every 3 students that go to the Albuquerque Public Schools have families that are struggling? They are struggling to make ends meet. And when I say struggling, it's going to be a decision of whether we buy the crayons or we buy macaroni and cheese for dinner tonight. That's the kind of decisions that our families are making. And it saddens me. But then I look and I turn and I look at these corporate volunteers, people who saw this need and decided to do something about it. And I cannot thank them enough for stepping forward and doing everything that they can to ensure that those 66% of our students have exactly what they need for when they go to school, the first day of school. This organization is made up of over a dozen corporations that are coming together, giving of their time, effort, and they're giving their soul to this. They're giving themselves to this because they know how important it is. And again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've been doing. And if you see what the bus has, it will take your breath away. And that's only a small portion of it. They have incredible amount of materials and school supplies to give our students. One of the things that I want to say is that I want to talk a little bit about Albuquerque 1. This is a perfect example of Albuquerque coming together as one. We are Albuquerqueans through and through, and we speak with our actions. We don't just sit back and point fingers and this and that. That is not in the genes, the genetic code of Albuquerque and Albuquerque 1. And you're seeing this in action, and it just gladdens my heart because we are truly, all of us, children, adults, elderly people, we are all Albuquerque 1. And I cannot thank the city enough for having this opportunity to be with you here today. And que vayan con Dios, va a ser fantástico este año. This year is going to be fantastic, all because of you. Thank you.